Hi everybody! Valentine's Day is coming up, and I just realized I haven't done any kind of promotion. I haven't posted any pictures. I don't know what I've been doing. I think I've just been really relishing in normal, ordinary, everyday life and just enjoying dinners with my family and sleeping and just being alive and being grateful to be alive. Many of you know that I make jewelry, and I make jewelry to share a story. So it's really not about jewelry. It's about the story, and it's about God, and it's about Jesus and the miracles that have happened in my life. I was writing a blog post today, and I was reading it out loud, trying to figure out if it flowed or if I needed to edit it or whatever. And it kind of occurred to me that maybe somebody who doesn't know me very well would like to hear my words in my voice, and that if there's one person out there who needs to hear it, then maybe this could be for them. I hope and pray that one person hears it and feels encouraged by it. But anyway, here goes. Here's my blog post today. A lot of people roll their eyes when I talk about God, and I get it. I used to roll my eyes too. I was thinking back the other day about my journey and about 3 women I met who shared crazy, unforgettable things with me. Honestly, I thought they were nuts at the time. But all these years later, I realized that what they taught me with their lives was everything. I met them over a span of a few years, about 12 years ago. I remember hearing them talk and being fixated on how ridiculous they were. I silently judged and scoffed and thought my way was so much better than theirs. There was one older woman in my Bible study. She was about my age now. Her 20-something-year-old son had just been in a terrible car accident, and I remember her telling us, the only thing we can do is pray. And I thought, what? No, that's insane. You can't just do nothing. You can't just trust that things are going to be okay. I would stay at the hospital night and day. I'd ride the doctors. I'd make sure they were doing everything they could possibly do. A few months later, there was another woman. She was our worship leader's wife, and she homeschooled her 3 children. I remember her telling me that the most important thing about their schooling was their relationship with Jesus. I could hardly contain myself when she said it. I think I even did the choking cough thing. Like, what did she just say? Of course, I didn't say anything to her, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that my 8-year-old son was in the gifted program at school. He was reading classic literature, studying space, playing Mozart on the piano, pitching Little League. She could put her money on Jesus. I was putting my money on academics. I put value on academics and the fact that I had decided that I was going to be the world's best mother. I had committed to be everything that my alcoholic, mentally ill, child-abusing mother was not. I was giving my child every opportunity to succeed, and doing a pretty good job of it too. I didn't need Jesus. Fast forward a few years, I have a daughter now, and my son is struggling and acting out. It's the beginning of his drug use, but I don't know it yet. I'm thinking more about God and how the second woman was smart to make it a priority for her kids. Then I'm at a Beth Moore live stream at our church called Delight Yourself in the Lord. Beth Moore is teaching how to be grateful in all things. I'm paraphrasing here, but the gist of the teaching was, if you have a messy house, be grateful you have a house. If you're drowning in laundry, be grateful you have a family to care for. If your husband is late getting home from work, be grateful you have a husband and that he has a job, etc., etc. I'm watching it and thinking, yeah, I get all that. But you know what? If my child is sick, there's no way I'd be grateful. And just then, a woman with a young son diagnosed with cancer gets up on the stage. She's smiling a radiant, beautiful smile. She's praising and thanking Jesus. She's putting her trust in the Lord and delighting in all things, even her son's cancer. I was shocked. I felt like God was speaking directly to me. Because it wasn't long after that when I experienced the hardest time of my life up until that point. My beautiful firstborn son had turned rebellious and violent. The pain, grief, and loss was unbearable. I thought back on those women. I remembered their faith and the outrageous things they'd shared. In utter desperation, I surrendered to Jesus and I thanked him. Day by day, little by little, things got better and better. I got strong and steady, our family healed, and I came to know the deepest love I've ever known. I started Milk Velvet Pearls using the symbolism of the pearl to express what I couldn't put into words. Beauty born from struggle through faith. I wanted people to see God's grace through my jewelry, and I remember thinking very clearly, okay, God, I've learned my lesson. You can make everything good now. I honestly thought that's the way it was going to work out, since I was promoting him and everything. But things didn't get easier, they got harder. And since then, I've had more opportunities to crumble under devastating circumstances. Our son almost lost his life to drug addiction. Recovery almost broke our marriage. And then when we emerged, healthier, happier, and stronger, I suffered a massive brain aneurysm rupture that should have ended my life. But I've learned through these hard times that I will always be okay. God's peace and power never end and never fail. But I often think back to these women and how lucky I was to learn from them. Number 1, trust Jesus for everything. Number 2, our relationship with him is the most important thing my children and I can ever have. And number 3, if I delight myself in all things, trauma, conflict, broken bones, heartbreak, depression, illness, drug addiction, jail, rehab, codependency, brain aneurysm ruptures, stroke-like symptoms in recovery, he will give me the desires of my heart. By his power, I've seen prayers and miracles happen, and by his grace, I'm living my best life now. Me, the one who had to question and scoff and learn the hard way, is now the one who can't stop telling about it. I believe we can survive anything if we only believe. Thank you, Becky, Valerie, Beth Moore, and Kelly. I love this scripture. I'm going to leave you with this. All day long I have held out my hands to disobedient and contrary people. Romans 10:21. And Jeremiah 15:19. If you return to me, I will restore you. So happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I don't really have any jewelry for you, but we'll get to that. P.S. That little boy diagnosed with cancer is now a happy, healthy student at Auburn. Praise Jesus.